Good morning, Philadelphia, and I do mean all of the ships at sea. This is your girl Amber E with the piping hot tea. This is my tea. What is yours? Happy Saturday, Philly. It is 8:01 on July the 18th, 2026. It's going to be a good one, guys. Quite frankly, it's going to be a great one for a couple of reasons. Number one, as I mentioned last week with Miss Tiana Jones, if you're listening, Miss Tiana Jones, I am so proud of you because today, starting at 10 a.m. is the first annual Philly Food Sharing Expo near St. James School. And do not forget, it will not just be about your physical health, which is important, don't get me wrong, because it's not just about food sharing, as we talked about last week, but it's about food sharing, food health, food wellness, community, etc. It's not just going to be about the physical aspect, but there's going to be financial wellness information courtesy of TD Bank. There's also going to be music from Pedro Rodriguez. I'm looking forward to it all. It's going to be a great day. So please do not forget that, one, it's going to be an excellent day because the expo is taking place today starting at 10 a.m. I am so thankful that she allowed me to talk about this on my show because I love giving props to all of the people who make Germantown and Philadelphia and vicinity such a great place. That's the first thing. Second thing I'm happy about actually coincides with this because when I was checking social media this morning, because as you all know, not only is the rain coming at some point today, but on top of that, and for those of us like myself who sometimes have breathing issues, there's been quite a bit of issue in the air because of the fires taking place in Canada and all the smoke traveling down here to the East Coast. Yes, in case you were wondering, rain, shine, or smoke, there still will be the expo. And the best thing about that is, even when I walked outside this morning, I wasn't coughing nearly as hard as I normally do because, again, this smoke for me and other folk who breathe hard is for regular folk. It's been rough. So please know that A, yes, the smoke is finally clearing, but B, also, whether it was or not, of course, the Welcome Table has an indoor facility. There will indeed still be the expo. I don't know about you. With the week I had, honey, I earned my massage. I'm getting my massage today. Somebody say today. Thank you so much. So please do not forget to come to the expo. Again, it starts at 10 a.m. this morning. Good morning, Charmaine. I am so excited. So I really do hope that you had a weekend. Like I said, I don't know about you, but it was a week. We'll get into more about that this morning in like the next 27 minutes or so. But Philadelphia, you made it. And in case no one else told you, you did that thing this week, honey. You did that. You did that. Go on with your bad self. I am so proud of you. Whatever the up, the down, the hill, the valley, I want you to know that I am proud of you. I want you to know that despite the struggle, or even because of the struggle, you persevered, you pushed, you made it work. People were watching and saw you succeed. And by the way, even if people weren't watching and didn't see you succeed, in your heart of hearts, I am glad for you. I'm glad for you because you succeeded. So in case somebody was around to see your victory, I see you, boo. You did that. You go ahead, peace, love, and melanin. I'm so proud. Today's tea is a simple one, and it really is because of what we're going to talk about today. I am going to pause for a minute. I said good morning to all the ships at sea because I have people who are watching, like my cousin Wayman. Good morning, cousin. How you doing? My cousin Wayman's watching from Virginia Beach, and my cousin Norma. Hey, Norma, who's watching from California. My family, we came together in New York this week for celebrating my mother's older brother, my Uncle Norman, who transitioned earlier this month. So, of course, to my Uncle Norman, who was one of the kindest, most forthright, pleasant people. Unc, I'm going to miss you. I love you. And to his children, my cousins, my heart goes out to you, to my family, my aunties, to my, we in this together. We're going to get a little more into this in the power of community, the power of coming together as people of color in a bit. But that's kind of why I'm taking it a little bit slower this morning. I, again, traveled from Philly to New York and back again to spend my time with you this morning, my damn fam. Hey, how you doing? And I'll admit, when I got to New York yesterday, I felt like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, like, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. I love New York. I actually do. And the busyness, it definitely does things for me, but sometimes I can feel a little bombarded by it. And so I love the hustle and bustle. And one thing I did like when I was near Madison Square Garden yesterday was just this feeling of, even though I felt like a small fish in a big pond, I felt like somebody. But at the end of the day, Philadelphia, I love you. I really, really love you, Philly. Yes, we still have energy and we are cosmopolitan. You hear me talk about that a lot. But the thing about Philly that I love is that we really are a little big town. Meaning that yes, you may live in Fishtown, you may live in Chestnut Hill, you may live in South Philly, you may live in Germantown, you may live in Rittenhouse, you may live in the bottom. No matter what it is though, you're probably going to contingent on what you do or who you know. You're probably going to run into someone that you know at some point. And that's kind of what I love about it. We are definitely such an orchestra of differences that all have the same heart. Go Birds! I know I'm early, but I said what I said. Go Birds! But at the same time, our neighborhoods are distinctive, and yet we do blend very well together. I think it's a little harder to do in New York. But here in Philadelphia, it's like, oh, when I got home, first thing I said was, oh no, the air hasn't cleared up. But we're better now. Second thing I said was, oh my goodness, I love you, Philadelphia. So it's so good to be back, fam. Speaking of back, fam, today's tea is actually an interesting one. I'm still on the iced tea buzz because it's still warm outside. I don't want to do hot tea just yet. And again, there are so many ways to turn up, if you will, a good hot tea into a good black tea. A good hot tea into a good iced tea. What do? You brew it while it's still hot. And then, of course, you either put ice on it or put ice in it, or you brew it while it's still hot, sweeten it, and then maybe put it in the fridge to chill. Today's tea is actually a strawberry blend that I saw not too long ago, and it's called Sweet Strawberry. It's actually a mix. It's a mix of, let me get my glasses, child. It's a mix of turmeric root, hibiscus flower, honey bush leaf. We have some monk fruit extract, mango, and strawberry, and sunflower oil. And there's a lot of other things in there, but what it does, again, if you're looking at this live with me, it does kind of have, you can see the turmeric in it because you have that orange tint. Really, it's more of an amber tint. No, it's not. It's orange. Amber's a little more brown. The bottom line is, it definitely has this aroma of the mango and of the strawberry as well. And yes, I did come prepared, Am Fam. I said iced tea. And Am Fam, what is this? This is not a regular teaspoon. This is an iced teaspoon. It is longer on purpose because it's meant for iced tea glasses. That's why, again, we're going to go round and round a little bit. It's going to be able to get to the bottom of my glass. I'm going to go ahead. I already put my sweetener in it. Just a regular, actually, I did put a sugar in the raw in mine today. I know, again, that's just regular sugar that's not refined yet, but it is what it is. Leave me alone. So again, to keep from splashing, I am putting my ice in cube by ice cube because I want to keep it neat today here on Germantown Radio, the sound of Germantown. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. This is good. Matter of fact, it might be almost too good. Let me see if I can't. Sorry, 1 second, Am Fam. That's delicious. I did that before we went round and round because I might have put a little too much in there. I don't want to spill. Anyway, Am Fam, you ready? Spoons up. Let's do this. Oh, that's delicious. Round and round's a dreadful show. Back and forth is how we go. From 6 to 12 and back again. Back and forth to stay within. Good morning, Auntie. I love you. One more time since Auntie just got here. Round and round's a dreadful show. Back and forth is how we go. From 6 to 12 and back again. Back and forth to stay within. I'm going to give you a topic. Your topic is the power of community really makes a difference. And we still praying for Kanye. Discuss. That was shady. I'm sorry. Community. Discuss. That's delicious. I'm going to tell you why this is a good tea. Again, I know it's marketed as a strawberry, sweet strawberry tea, but what I'm really getting in this is more the mango. It's really the mango and the turmeric that makes this so delicious. Keep talking. La 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 la. Hey, mama. Keep talking. That's fantastic. Oh, that's so delicious. See, if I can take a page from the book of Wendy Williams, in my mind, what I'm seeing right now, because that's what she'd say, because I was a Wendy watcher too. I can admit it and have no shade. Hey, y'all. In my mind, when I see teas like this, I get the whole narrative, the whole story. And what I would do with a tea like this, an iced tea like this, is I would make some sliders, or maybe have some sandwiches, make a good pasta salad. My friend Musa, hey Musa, actually has an excellent tortellini pasta salad recipe we had at her last birthday party. And I would make a tea like this in a tall pitcher with some ice, and maybe even add some club soda to it, and make this just so delicious. This is really good. I'm loving, again, this mango. I'm loving this very subtle sweetness with the ice. I actually do have lemon that I didn't put in it, but you know what? Even with the tea that myself and Miss Tiana Jones had last Saturday, where we had the white hibiscus peach blend, that acidity actually does very good things for me. I'm loving this, and I bet, excuse me one second, woo, I bet that if I added some more lemon or some club soda, or even like a flavored lime club soda, this would be a lovely, lovely tea to have in the summertime with your people. Have some Earth, Wind, and Fire playing in the background, or maybe AWB, if you know, you know. That's probably what I would do. But this is so, so delicious, Am Fam. And you know, I really did want to, like I said a bit ago, slow it down just a little bit. Today is one of those days that I really wanted to talk about the power of community. And not just the general community where we looking at political affiliations, who is affected by which political figure suddenly passing away and how we respond to it, who criticizes another political figure for saying you're praising that political figure when they weren't the most popular political figure, blah, 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 back and forth. Don't get me wrong, those are very, very valid conversations worth having. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying, though, is the general part of community is one that we need to embrace. Remember, it's not just the general elections that make the difference. Getting out and voting every single time there is an election does indeed make a difference in our world, in our community, in our neighborhoods, etc. But what I wanted to talk about today was actually something that I learned yesterday at my uncle's homegoing. For those of you who are also Jeopardy fans, and I'm a hardcore Jeopardy watcher. As a matter of fact, I got home from New York yesterday around 6:45, 6:50-ish, and I went, oh my goodness, I made it 10 minutes within the window to watch Jeopardy because I love that show. And not too long ago, there was an episode that had a category about things in Black culture, and one of them, I'm paraphrasing of course, was about the difference between a funeral and a homegoing, and none of the contestants knew what a homegoing was. And so what I found very interesting was the person giving the eulogy did make the differentiation between the two. Yesterday at my uncle's homegoing, the power of community did such a good thing for my heart, and I'm going to tell you why. When my cousin was giving me a ride to the train station in New York, I asked us the question, what did we learn? And what I learned was that blood is thicker than I used to give it credit for. There is something so incredibly powerful about knowing that your family is there and has your back. And I've always known that. But even in distance, when that love is palpable, you can move mountains when you feel it pumping in your heart and going through your veins. When y'all are able to laugh and laugh and laugh when you trying not to laugh. I love my family. Brewer Power, I love us. Smith family, I love you. Earl's Blood, you got me too. But when we're laughing and laughing when somebody probably should be crying, but I'm gonna leave that alone, and we're able to come together at the repast and just talk, or the elders are able to talk to the youngins and let them know what they need to know, at the end of the day, to me, that just warms my heart. It gives me such a feeling of power as a woman, as a member of family, as a Black woman, as a person in a profession where I get to speak the truth, where I'm able to really just celebrate and sing and feel wonderful about where I come from. And so knowing that from the inside really does give me the empowerment to go out and do whatever it is that I set my mind to. No family is perfect. Everybody's got stuff that we have to work through because human beings are messy things. We say things, we do things, we don't do things, we should do things, we forget to do things, we forget to remember to do things, we do things that we shouldn't do. You get the idea. And yet we still put our best foot forward. That's the thing about being imperfect. It's about remembering that even in your oopses, be those deliberate or otherwise, the question is, what do you learn from it? What's your takeaway? And if you have family around you, be that of your blood or of your heart, that can really help support you, it makes the mountains in your world not seem as tall. Everyone doesn't have that blessing, which is why I put out there, sometimes the family that you have is not the family you're given. It's the family that you find. It's the family that comes with you across the country on a plane and sits with you where you're mourning and says, I got you. It's the family that says, I know I haven't seen you since the last reunion, but we can all agree about this one person going crazy, right? But like we all on the same page, correct? We're good. Yes. Okay, great, fine. And then you do have family who say, no, I don't agree with X, Y, Z, and that's okay too. But to be able to really see that makes such a difference, and to really embrace it made me so happy. And so to my family that I was able to see for the first time, I got to hug my Auntie Natalie. Hey, Auntie. I got to give hugs and kisses to everybody. And regarding the homegoing and a repast, they sent me home with my collard greens and my fried fish and my salmon and my macaroni and cheese. I don't feel that about saying any of this. Again, this is the opposite of it's comfort food. I get it. I just want you all to know that those connections make a difference. And again, I'm going to put on my teacher's hat for a second, especially in this time of unpredictability. This is a difficult thing to do for many of us. But I wonder what would happen if we made those phone calls to the family we haven't spoken to in a while. I wonder what would happen if we tried to build those bridges, if we said that the door swings both ways, let's see what happens. Because sometimes you put that out there and they still ain't going to open the darn thing. I mean, again, human beings are messy things, and so I get it. But maybe making that effort makes a difference. What the other person does is up to them. Please hear what I'm saying. But given the world that we live in, given the babies, the Nolan Wellses who go for a trip on July the 4th and don't come home again, where his mother, according to an article on NOLA.com, where his mother said, and I quote, "This is not how I wanted the world to meet my son, but here we are." Christine Wells Wansley is his mother's name. And according to this article, it says, and I quote, "When Christine Wells Wansley said those words while fighting back tears," the writer, "my heart broke for her. She was about to tell the world about her 18-year-old son, Nolan Wells, whose body was found on a Mississippi Gulf Coast barrier island. Wells, a black sophomore and football wide receiver at Southwest University Community College, was last seen celebrating the 4th of July with his friends on Horn Island, which is accessible only by boat. His 3 friends returned home. Wells did not." When I read, and again, this is from NOLA.com, there's also a really well-written article, because of course it makes only good sense it would be well-written, by the Associated Press, where people are now doing a lot more investigation, where they're looking to see what his text messages were on his phone, what was deleted, if anything was deleted, if there was new audio that sheds light on a malfunction that hit the boat that he and his friends were aboard. There's all these coulda, woulda, shouldas. We're picking things apart, but at the end of the day, there's a mother who unfortunately had to have her son not come home for us to start this dialogue again. And this is nothing new. Unfortunately, this is, to put this in a very safe way, there are still conversations that are happening in families that aren't the most comfortable ones to have, but they must happen. And so that's kind of why I'm really talking about this morning, not just the community around you. You know that I talk about that a lot on Tea with Amber E, but really knowing that sometimes we have to bond from the inside out. So when the outside comes in, there is that connection that says, you can't touch this. You can't touch us. Look, at this point, you're going to have to go through this wall of blood or heart to be able to get to the person over here. Even the person that helped me get to my uncle's homegoing was like, we family, we got this. Honey, don't think about it. Purchase your ticket, call it a day. It was such a relief and a release to be able to know that those circles make a difference, so that when someone does come for your own, it's like, oh no. You see this wall right here? If I can go on Gandalf the Grey, you shall not pass. Try again later. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Stop being adorable. It's not working. So at the end of the day, fam, again, my heart does go out to the Wells family, to the late Nolan Wells' mother, his family members, as they're still trying to make sense of all of this. I celebrate even the family that is not of my blood, but of my heart. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my Auntie Natalie on the phone before I came to New York for the homegoing, and we were talking, and somebody who was also in the grocery store heard what I said, and she and I had a chat about the very thing while we were waiting. It was like, you know what, that's kind of what I'm saying, that sometimes it is in having the talks in the safe spaces that gives us the courage to be able to have the talks in the big ones. And as those places expand bigger and bigger and bigger, it may not stop the boulder from going down the hill, because those are the laws of gravity. I get it. But what it might do is it may give someone the courage to be able to stop the number of casualties that the statistics expected to be the case from being exactly what they predicted them to be. Pause. Selah. Discuss. I just want another excuse to take a sip of this delicious tea. This is really delicious. You know what I wonder? To get a little off topic. I want to see if I could sweeten this with monk fruit and see what this would look. Because again, sometimes some sweeteners have their own flavor palette, and this is a personal tea pet peeve of mine. What I don't like is when sometimes I will use honeys, or really any sweetener, but really some honeys that have a very dynamic flavor profile, and then all of a sudden it overpowers the flavor profile of the tea itself. So that's why sometimes I'm a little wary of how I sweeten my tea. And so I'm just sitting here sipping this because, like I said a bit ago, it's less the strawberry, more the mango that I'm getting. And so as I'm sipping it, I'm thinking, I wonder if I used monk fruit as a sweetener, or even agave nectar, how this would be. So anyway, I'm getting a little off. Well, not really. We're still talking about tea and the tea. So I'm really enjoying this. But I just really want you all to know that I'm going to, as my students at my school say, are you going to put on your auntie hat because you wear those hats to school, Miss E? Because I do wear my hats to school. Wink. This is me putting on my auntie hat for a second. I can't tell you what to do, fam. That's not what Tea with Amber E is about. But I will say this gentle nudge. There's a saying. Your outlook on life is a direct reflection of how much you like yourself. There's something to be said about the people around you and how they love you, and how in the love they give you, how you see yourself. It might be that because I believe that love is cyclical, in that if it comes to me, if I give it out, it has to come back to me. It may not be the way that I gave it, but it has to come back to me. It might be that the person that you know who has a certain outlook on life is waiting for the love that you give them. And in giving them that love, they give that love back to you. And as that love continues to be cyclical, fam, it brings healing. And right now, with the Nolan Wells story, with the politicians, where even one commentator said, I'm surprised that this politician passed, but this other politician passed, I'll leave that alone. The way that we look at those stories really is indicative of how our worldview works. So I don't want to be too redundant, but the point I'm trying to make is that there is something so powerful when it comes to love and joy and finding a way to laugh in the dark moments, in the very dark, confusing, what happens now moments, door swings both way moments, are you sure moments. We might not find the resolution at the end of this service, but we're going to get there together moments. Even if everyone who started is not finished with us moments. Knowing that the way that love, I believe, is cyclical. I really do think that as we come together, given the unpredictability of the next, 4 months of the year, because August is in a couple of weeks. We have 2 more years of this administration, and fam. Find your family, connect with them, start telling the stories, get someone to write them down or to record them, because we can put them out into the universe and the atmosphere, but someone needs to write them down. Again, I have one of my cousins who's doing a lot of research on our bloodline. I think that's wonderful. But at the end of the day, fam, knowing that that love really does burst any kind of darkness upside its head and slices through it like warm cheese, I'm telling you, makes all the difference. And so, as I said at the top of today's episode, I want you to know that if you don't get it from anybody else, I love you. I am so very proud of you. You being the best version of yourself makes the world and my world so much better. And it may be that you and I never connect, but the fact that you are putting love out there means, in one way or another, it's going around to make our world better. I don't want to sound Mr. Rogers cheesy about this, but what I really do mean it, because I think remembering that very simple concept really does break barriers. It really does heal wounds. It really does open up our hearts to be able to exhale. How many of us are still holding our breath and don't even know it? Look, a couple of times this week, I was holding my breath. If you know, you know. So at the end of the day, knowing that I have places where I can exhale, and hopefully, even if this place right here is a place where you can exhale, I'm honored to be able to offer that to you. The bottom line is, you've got this. If it's not anything else but over a cup of tea with me at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And again, to the folk who listen to this from California at 5 a.m., oh my goodness, that makes me so excited. So, fam, I really do hope, hopefully you put a mask on, because again, we're not out of the woods just yet with the air quality here. We're not in purple yet. It's not purple rain. Yes, I just did that. I'm so corny. But we do have rain that's coming. So if you do decide to go out today, just to be able to get out of the home, wiggle your fingers, that's a wonderful thing. If you do decide to come to the expo, like I said, it starts at 8 a.m. Oh, no, it doesn't. It starts at 10 a.m., excuse me. Miss Tiana Jones, look for her smiling, happily, bubbly, effervescent, knowledgeable, loving, advocate for mental wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness face. She will say hello, and I am going to give her a bear tackle hug today. Or if she's like busy, I'll at least give her a hug from the back. We'll see. But the bottom line is, everyone, please make sure that you are able to celebrate your family, yourself, the people around you. And if you haven't made that phone call in a while, maybe they're waiting for you to make the first move. Sometimes it ain't fair. If they answer the phone, hey, that's wonderful. See how you both can heal. If not, you made that step. So today, fam, embrace the love of the family around you. Be the one who starts the conversations. I know it's not easy, but sometimes it does take you. What I finally want to say is, yesterday again was my uncle's homegoing, but yesterday was also the celebration of my childhood friend Kalima, who I talked about a year ago, who had passed away. She would have turned 40 yesterday, and her family celebrated her. So to the Heddens, I love you. Again, we're continuing to celebrate her life and her legacy. I think it's so beautiful how you all love each other. And so as we continue to commemorate Kalima, I love her. I love y'all for embracing me since childhood. And we're going to continue to stand together as a family, everybody. Blood or heart. Remember, fam, I've got you. You've got me. We've got this. Consider monk fruit in your tea. Let me know how you like it or you don't. I'll take notes and we'll talk about it soon. Love and light to you all. Peace. Mm-hmm.